Hi, everyone. Welcome back to week 11, part 2. This is English 2332, and I'd like to talk to you about your third response paper. Now, of course, you're going to want to look at your first and second response paper, look at the comments made on those so you can see how to improve. But the purpose of this is for me to determine, to me be able to tell that you've read the, the work that you've selected, that you understand it well enough to respond to one specific aspect of it. The assignment is the same. I'll let you read over that. The assignment, the grading standards, it's still 2 to 3 pages. Um, the topics we'll get back to. It asks you to, first of all, select one specific aspect of your topic and focus on that very narrow aspect. Feel free to express confusion or clarity, questions or facts. Just don't retell the story. All right. Your reader, me, I know what happened in the story, so you don't have to tell me. Just refer to that one particular thing that you're going to talk about and then tell how you feel about it, what you don't understand about it, what you think might be true, what some alternatives are, like that. What I'm looking for is a good understanding of the source and a thoughtful response to it. As a college sophomore, you should be able to read a piece of literature and um, question it or explain it or respond to it. Just tell how you feel about it. Okay? These papers are due no later than, whoops, sorry. It's going to be Sunday, September 15th. I'll change this. It says Thursday, but it's going to be Sunday, April 15th, 4:11:55 p.m. And yes, I know that's tax day. Okay, so you get to pick any one specific aspect of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, or any one single specific aspect of the Inferno, or any one single aspect of Beowulf. So Beowulf, the Inferno, or uh, Sir Gawain. I would recommend Sir Gawain. The Inferno. Um, we only did the first 4 books and the last two, so you didn't really get much more than the beginning and the end of that story. Beowulf is good, and you could do Beowulf. There's nothing wrong with Beowulf. But to me, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight is going to give you the most to work with. Just pick one particular aspect of it. Okay, so for example, if I were doing this assignment, I would probably deal with the fact, and it says this a couple of times, that Sir Gawain. Okay, so you know who King Arthur was, probably based on a real figure, Sir Arcturus, who united a big part of England, not all of it, but united a big part of England, and established a rule not based on power, not based on the idea that might makes right, but based on the idea that justice, and especially church justice, is more important. So you have to treat everyone equally, you have to treat everyone fairly. Uh, you can't go around beating up women or kicking peasants or punting puppies. You have to be nice and chivalrous to everyone. It's a wonderful opportunity to study what chivalry really was. It's really a fascinating subtopic. But anyway, I would write about Sir Gawain, and I would probably pick where it says that Sir Gawain was the youngest and the least of all the knights. Okay, there's 12 or 15 of these guys, no, 20. There's 20 of these guys sitting around the table, and they all have their significant others with them. And of course, the Green Knight rides up and challenges them, and King Arthur doesn't want to accept the challenge, but they can't let the challenge go unheeded because this is, after all, Camelot. And so somebody has to answer it. And Sir Gawain says, "Look, I'm the youngest and the weakest and the lamest one here. So therefore, my loss will be of the least importance. Let me take the challenge." And King Arthur's like, "Oh, okay." But why? Well, this underscores one of the main themes of the whole poem, and that is the importance of humility in Christianity. Of course, Sir Gawain has many, 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 many Christian virtues, and one of his chief virtues is humility. Oh, oh, I'm the least, I'm the worst, everyone is better than me, which comes straight from the Bible. I think it's the book of Romans that Paul is admonishing the Romans, saying, consider in all Christian humility, consider everyone better than yourself. So anyway, so that's what he does. Now he has a lot of other Christian virtues. Please don't try to cover all of his Christian virtues. He's got way too many. Pick just one, maybe two of his Christian virtues. He does have an amazing faith. reliance upon God. He's a wonderful fighter. He kills all these beasts and monsters. There's just the poem kind of skips over that part or kind of minimizes that part as he's looking for the Green Chapel. He encounters all these mythical monsters and beasts and dragons and bears, and he slays them all. But yeah, so he's a great fighter. Although he does have the good armor, they did suit him up pretty good and gave him the good armor before he left. But anyway, read the poem carefully, find one particular aspect of it, and if you're having trouble picking the topic, let me know. I'm more than happy to help. No matter which of these three you want to write about, I can help you find one specific thing to write about. And really, just tell me what your thoughts are. How are you feeling? What kind of questions do you have? How would you explain this to someone who's maybe unfamiliar with the concept of Christian humility or the sin of pride? That's obviously what he's trying to avoid there. Now, don't forget, you have to have, this is just regular standard academic writing, just regular essay structure. So you have to have an introduction. You have to have at least two, probably three body paragraphs and a conclusion. The introduction and the conclusion should be short because those are special paragraphs. The introduction has to end, the last sentence is the main idea of the paper. So the main idea of the paper, the thesis, last sentence of the introduction, has to tell me which one you're talking about. The papers I've been looking over so far, the thesis is not clear. I couldn't tell just from reading the thesis what your topic was that you've chosen. I have to read the whole paragraph. You don't want that. The thesis has to stand alone. So when I'm reading your paper on number 3, I want to know, or if you're talking about Sir Gawain the Green Knight, if so, what particular aspect? Maybe just, ooh, that'd be interesting. You know, the Green Knight is green. But why green? How green? What shades of green? Is he totally green? Is he like, wearing a green suit? So yeah, how do you interpret that? Hint, he's not all green. He's got some braids of gold in his hair, and his horse, which is also green, has braids of gold in his tail and its mane. But other than that, he's pretty much all green. Ooh, I wonder if he bleeds green. Have to ask Spock. Or one particular aspect of the Inferno, and again, I would concentrate on something happened either in the first 4 cantos, just him meeting Dante, just him waking up in the Forgotten Woods. You could write a good 2-page. It's just 2 pages. You could write a good 2-page paper just on that one specific event. If you want to write about Beowulf, maybe him attacking Grendel, or him attacking the dragon, or Umferth surrendering his sword. Now there you go. Umferth, I don't know if you recognize this or not, but well, maybe you haven't read it yet. But Umferth is the yeah, we've done Beowulf. Umferth is the only rounded character in that poem. Everyone else is static. Everyone else remains unchanged. But Umferth, who's really the bad guy at the beginning, he changes and he develops humility, surrenders his sword to Sir Gawain, and like that. So anyway, pick one specific thing that happens and then just tell me how you feel about it. And it's okay to feel confused or uncomfortable or super excited. The feelings are yours. But anyway, your paper has to have multiple paragraphs. The last sentence of the introduction has to be the main idea. Each body paragraph should start with an idea that supports the thesis. If you say Sir Gawain's humility was overwhelming, then every topic sentence needs to address some aspect of Sir Gawain's humility. And you don't have to talk about the contents of the poem. You can talk about the structure of the poem, that bob and wheel construction, the alliteration. There's some wonderful alliteration in this poem. I'm not entirely convinced that this poem was written by one guy. I suspect it was written by several people over time because the word choice, that's diction, the diction of the poem is just incredible. Of course, how it opens, it harkens back to the Battle of Troy, the Trojan War, and just like Aeneas and like a lot of the Greek tragedies, it's an attempt to recreate Greek literature in that sense. But anyway, find something, one specific something in any one of those 3 works, and just explain to me how you feel about it. You don't have to go into a lot of your own personal history. You don't have to tell me a lot about why you feel that way, just how you feel. Essay structure, good spelling and grammar. Please be sure to format your papers correctly. I always feel bad when I have to take off points for formatting because that's an easy thing. just getting the right font, the right spacing, the right heading. That's very mechanical, and so when students don't do that, I always feel bad because you've given up some easy points for very little effort. But anyway, and if you want me to take a look at your rough draft, I'm happy to do that too. Just drop me an email and let me know. If you'll send me your rough draft as an attachment, it'll be easier for me to mark it up and get it back to you. I don't always have access to Google Docs, so like a shared doc or something like that. Unless I'm signed in to my Google account, which I'm not always, but a shared sent as an attachment tends to work best. Okay, we will talk some more about this later. Good luck.